Good morning, this is Peace Azad, and today I'm going to do the recording for the second part of the video on loneliness. In the first part, a quick review, we discussed that loneliness is a human condition and that there are different reasons for it. Sometimes we feel lonely because we haven't take time to connect with the source of our creation, the creator, God, whatever terminology you want to refer to, like the American Indians refer to it as the Great Spirit, the higher, some people refer to it as the higher power. So because I visualize that God is like the ocean and we're all drops in that ocean, so the drop is the happiest when it connects with the ocean. So sometimes the loneliness we feel is for the source, for God. And so we take time to pray, which is conversation with God, and read the Word of God as revealed in the teachings of all the religions like Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, Zoroastrian, Jewish, Islam, Muslim religion, and Baha'i. Um, and sometimes the loneliness we feel is because we haven't made time to be alone with our own soul and to nurture it and with acts of pure and good service, which is helping other people. That's another need that I've realized that the soul has, and that we attract great sweetness to our own soul when we help other people unconditionally. And sometimes the loneliness is because we want to connect with our loved ones. And in all these interactions, and we want to be of benefit to the world, we want to feel like we're making a difference. So whatever the reason for our loneliness is, and I've been really observing myself to see that when my loneliness shows up, um, what what is triggering it? Which of those conditions that I just mentioned are the reason for my loneliness? And I've realized that um, in all of those situations, um, loneliness is actually telling me that my soul has a need to give and receive love, and that I am not fulfilling that purpose. So today I want to tap on barriers to giving love unconditionally and receiving it. Okay? So again, if you are new to tapping, we start with the karate chop. This part is called karate chop, and we use 2 fingers, 2 to 3 fingers, and we tap gently and we state the problem. And the problem is, even though I sometimes struggle to love others unconditionally and to receive and to be open and receptive to receiving their love, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. Even though sometimes I struggle with giving and receiving love unconditionally, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. Even though sometimes loving others unconditionally and accepting their love is difficult for me and I struggle with it, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. And then we go to the other tapping points, which are in between the eyes, in the corner of the eye. And it can be either, you stay either on the right hand side or the left hand side. So you can either go this side or this side. And sometimes we can tap with both fingers. You can go like this, like this, like this, or just do one side. And then we go to our collarbone here, like this, and we go a little bit below it here, and then we hold our wrist, and this is the fifth area we tap. Okay, so we start. Even though sometimes I struggle with loving others unconditionally and accepting their love, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. It is safe and beneficial for me to get in touch with all my struggles about giving and receiving love. I know that it is safe for me to release all my struggles with giving and receiving love. It is safe and beneficial for me to give and receive love and to let go of all my struggles with giving and receiving love. I'm ready to let it go. I'm ready to let go of all my struggles, of all my limiting beliefs about giving and receiving love. Let it go, let it go. So now the part that I've added is I ask you to go to your spiritual guide or guides, because I'm a Baha'i and I accept all the spiritual teachers like Baha'u'llah, Christ, Muhammad, Buddha, Krishna, Zoroaster, Moses, even Abraham, Noah. Um, I go to all of them. I close my eyes and put myself in their presence, and I ask for guidance and for strength and for courage to be able to let go of my limiting beliefs about uh, loving people, especially those people who have hurt me or have I allowed them to take advantage of me, or they took advantage of me because of my special feelings for them. So go to that space. And when you go to that space, you can either still tap, if that makes you feel more centered and connected, or you can stop tapping and just go to that place. And take as much time as you need to be there. So I'm going to be quiet for a minute. And when you finish going to your spiritual guide, and if you don't have a relationship with these spiritual teachers, uh, I'm sure you had you know some other human beings that you love and respect, and you feel that they are highly evolved spiritual beings and they walk their talk. Like I have great respect for Gandhi and Martin Luther King and Nelson Mandela and Mother Teresa. And so choose whoever you have great respect and love for, and then you go, when I say go to your spiritual guide or guides, and ask them for guidance and strength and courage to be able to let go of your limiting beliefs, um, that cause us to have negative thoughts and our negative and our negative thoughts create our negative feelings and our negative attitudes and our negative actions. And then we make choices based on those limiting beliefs and thoughts and feelings and attitudes. And then, for example, if we've been hurt by someone, we may decide to withdraw from them because we are feeling angry about them. So let's now tap a second time. It is safe and beneficial for me to experience all my feelings and emotions when it as it pertains to loving and receiving love unconditionally. And here, when the second time, I want us to look at what are the other feelings and emotions that we might be experiencing that is interfering with us giving and receiving love. So, what's showing up for me is anger. Like some of the people that are my family members or my friends. I may have had some negative interactions with them, and maybe I haven't completely forgiven them. So then we can tap and say it is safe and beneficial to let go of my anger, of my hurt, of my sadness, of my fear that if I open myself up and love this person again, that they may hurt me again, or I may feel rejected, or they may take advantage of me. It is safe and beneficial for me to release all these feelings and emotions. And then you tap under the eye and you can say, many times the fears that show up in relationships, um, if we feel that we've been taken advantage of, yet because we have a caring and loving feeling toward a family member or a friend, because of where they're at in their spiritual consciousness, like they took advantage of us. And nobody can take advantage of us without our permission. So there could be self-anger, like there could be anger directed at our own self for giving a lot and allowing this person to take advantage of us. So we can release that too and say it is safe and beneficial for me to release the anger I feel for myself for giving so much of myself in this relationship and allowing the other person to take advantage of me. And that's why giving unconditionally is so important, is because when we give unconditionally, um, we don't expect anything in return. So as much as possible, we need to create the consciousness, spiritual consciousness in ourselves that when we give, when we show acts of kindness towards another person, whether they're a family member or a friend or a coworker or a boss or a neighbor, whoever we come in contact with, that we give it unconditionally. So that if they don't reciprocate, we don't feel like we were taken advantage of. Because we have learned often in giving and receiving love to make it conditional, like it's a business, venture. So this is a limiting belief that we want to let go of. Because when, like my role models, we all need role models, and my role models are these teachers from God, the ones I mentioned, Baha'u'llah, Krishna, Buddha, Zoroaster, Moses, Christ, Muhammad. When as I study their lives, I see that the way they gave to other people was always through pure and unconditional love. Because we all have a human soul, and our soul responds to pure and unconditional love. And we are all here to encourage each other to grow spiritually and to learn. And forgiveness is very important. So here, as you tap, and if it is like very highly emotionally charged, um, what the other person did, and it really upsets us, then we can tap on both sides and say it is safe and beneficial for me to forgive myself and for me to forgive them for whatever wrongs I feel they did or I did. Okay? It's time for me to release all these feelings. Let it go, let it go. And then we hold the wrist and say, let it go, let it go. I am so ready to let it go and to replace all the anger and the hurt and the sadness and fears and disappointments with unconditional love and joy and acceptance. Yeah, it's safe to let it go, to let go of all those emotions. And then you take a deep breath and go in the presence of your spiritual guide or spiritual guides and ask them for guidance, for courage, for strength to be able to replace whatever limiting beliefs you're holding that's preventing you to love unconditionally and to receive love. All right. So um, we continue this process. Now we're going to do it a third time. And one of the things that I forgot to mention, and Robert Smith does, is that he calibrates before he starts doing the tapping. And what calibration means is that you think about a memory or a situation, um, and you see how much you struggle with that situation. Like how often does loneliness show up for you, and how much of a problem is it in your life? So on a scale of 0 to 10, or how, with whom do you really struggle giving and receiving unconditional love? Because love is unconditional. Um, and a lot of us love conditionally, like we turn it into business, like I'll be kind to you if you'll be kind to me. And that is part of our journey of spiritual growth, is to learn to love unconditionally and to receive love unconditionally, like in whatever way the person can show their love. And being able to, and being willing to be accepting of ourselves where we are and accepting of other people where they are at. And through encouragement and through understanding and forgiveness, help them to grow and become more loving, and help ourselves to grow and to become more loving. Okay? So, um, and also the other example that Robert Smith uses is that he says if there is a plant or a tree and you take it by its root and pull it out, what happens to that tree or plant? And of course it dies. And I also sometimes use the imagery of a weed. And I say, because, you know, this, limiting beliefs, these limiting beliefs to me are not something we want to hold on to, because they limit our life. They limit our perception of reality. They get us stuck in emotions that don't bring us joy and happiness, like to be stuck in the emotion of anger or sadness or rejection or fear or disappointment or regret, or shame or guilt, and any other emotions that you can think of. If these emotions, they are not uplifting, they're not inspiring. Yeah, they're there to make us aware that we need to pay attention to something that has happened that didn't make us feel loved and cherished and admired and appreciated, and to feel good about ourselves. And it is better to replace those emotions with the emotions of acceptance and unconditional love and joy and inner peace. So that is the goal. So as I look um, look at the level of loneliness that you experience from time to time. Nobody experiences loneliness from the minute they wake up in the morning till the minute they go to bed at night. So give yourself permission to observe and be aware of your loneliness when it shows up, and see what has triggered it, and see the relationship and the connection between feeling lonely and having the need to give and receive love. Okay, so the third time we're going to tap, we're going to go a little bit deeper, and this time we can say something like, it is safe and beneficial for me to go deeper into my feelings of loneliness and to become aware of what triggers me to feel lonely. What time of day do I feel it more lonely? It is safe and beneficial for me to release these feelings and not to be afraid of them and to let them go. It is safe and beneficial for me to focus on what I really want to feel instead of feeling the loneliness and being stuck with it. I can release the feelings of loneliness and the feelings of anger and any other feelings and emotions that are there, like disappointment, sadness, fear, and it is safe and beneficial to release it and to replace them with the feelings of inner peace, joy, serenity, and unconditional love. I choose unconditional love. I choose joy. I choose peace. I choose serenity. It is safe and beneficial to let go of all the feelings of loneliness, anger, disappointment, fears. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And I'm learning to take better care of myself. Let it go. I'm so ready to welcome the feelings of serenity and inner joy and peace, and to celebrate life and to celebrate all the opportunities for service and helping other people and making the world a better place. Now take a deep breath, and again, as I said earlier, you can either continue to tap or you can stop and go to in the presence of your spiritual guides and ask them for guidance, for encouragement, for courage, for inspiration, and for strength. And stay as long as you need in this quiet space Just you and your spiritual guides. And then thank them when you feel like I'm experiencing a peacefulness in my heart right now. Um, so be in touch with what happens to your heart after you do it. So for me right now, the hurt and the annoyance that I was feeling when I started has really gone down, and I feel at peace right now. And the goal is to keep tapping and keep releasing and saying it's beneficial and safe to feel my feelings and emotions and to release them, and keep doing it till you are at a place where your heart feels peaceful again, where your spirit feels serene and you feel joy again and you feel centered again. Okay? So this is part 2 of the video on loneliness, and I'm offering it for free as a gift. And I look forward to our video number 3 on loneliness. All right, I appreciate your comments um, and questions, and you know how to get in touch with me, either through my email peacefarideh@gmail.com, or you send a request to my Skype peace95, or you can go to my Facebook Farideh Peace Azad, or you go to my blog http secrets to creating a dream life.blogspot.com. Have a wonderful day. This is Farideh Azad.